Gary Nasai Minasan. Today we are gonna take a look at Kamen Rider Ziin, the rider suit. Where this is really fun because in the previous video, when we take a closer look in Riser, we actually uncover a lot of not final. What am I trying to say? A very interesting information from the Riser itself. But let us take a look at Kamen Rider Ziin. Maybe we are gonna learn something really interesting. So let us start off with number one. Obviously, this is the head of Kamen Rider Ziin. We're not gonna go into the head right now. We are gonna go into more detail regarding the head later. So let me move on to the second thing, the Vector Lancer. What is the Vector Lancer? The Vector Lancer is the shoulder piece of the armor itself. So Kamen Rider Ziin's special device, it has the ability to change the various vectors of matters and energy in any direction, allowing it to walk on walls by changing the direction of gravity and even attacks by changing the trajectory of bullets. I don't think we actually saw him changing the trajectory of the bullet in the latest episode of Kamen Rider Geats, but we actually get to see him changing the direction of the gravity itself into that is how he's able to stand horizontal to the wall itself. He's almost kind of like a Naruto ninja, something like that, but this is really good that they actually give a little bit of explanation. I'm not so sure whether or not this is something that Ziin does, or like all the other laser riser can also do this also. So this is really interesting because if we look at Kamen Rider Beroba rider form is huge and big, so I'm not so sure whether or not Beroba actually have this ability to change the direction of gravity or not. I don't think so. Okay, so let me move on to the second thing, which is the monochrome. Let me see what is the monochrome is the chest piece, the armor piece of Kamen Rider Ziin. So armor of Kamen Rider Ziin, the armor, which is made of cubic material, exhibit excellent shock absorption due to its flexibility, which stretches about 1,000 times. Oh, okay. So if you get kind of like bloated inside, you're still able to wear the suit. Okay, with this, even direct hits from tank guns, what, can be almost nullified. That is OP. Wow, okay. Even tanks, it can tank the tanks. I don't know, crazy stuff. Next thing is the Riser belt. So obviously, Kamen Rider Ziin energy device, by building a private network through the virtual world with the gunship transformation item Laser Riser, energy is supplied wirelessly. So this is really interesting. Like we talked about in the previous video, they keep talking about this virtual world. So it really makes us think that, hey, maybe there is something going on. There is something happening that we do not know about yet. Okay, so this is really interesting. Maybe the people, okay, like another theory that I have is like maybe like the people from the future is not actually human but actually AI coming back into the current day to like have fun with humans, something like that. I don't know. But next thing is that in addition, the right side is equipped with the laser rise suspension holder. Okay, the normal stuff, nothing much to talk about. The designer leg, this is what? Designer leg? Okay. I feel like this is kind of like a, like wrong translation. Okay, we're just gonna call it Kamen Rider Ziin's leg. Okay, so it has a structure in which the leg of a humanoid are extended and strengthened by the design powered of a transformer, and it produced tremendous leg strength according to its intention. In addition, it specialized in aerial altitude control during jump with long flight time. So this is really interesting because it actually gives us an understanding of how this guy, Kamen Rider Ziin, is this tall. If you look at the detail below, the spec of Kamen Rider Ziin, it is stated that the height of Kamen Rider Ziin is 199.2 cm. So that is really tall. That is almost I don't know how tall is that, 6 feet, I don't know, but I believe the actor of Ziin is not that tall, okay? I don't believe Ziin is that tall. So this is actually really interesting that the suit itself actually makes him taller. So for those short kings out there, if you're looking to increase your height, get yourself a laser riser and engine into a Kamen Rider to make yourself taller. Okay, very interesting stuff. The next thing is the dimension foot. So Kamen Rider Ziin foot device by generating an energy field on the show of its foot, it creates super instantaneous power and super jumping power. Furthermore, it is possible to activate a special move by converging the energy to an ultra high density. I think this is kind of like talking about the rider kick, something like that. At first I thought like when I saw the dimension foot, I thought that this is the thing that causes him to be able to stand on the wood or something like that, but it turns out that it is the shoulder lancer device that allows him to do that. So he is not standing on trees like Naruto ninja. No, he's not doing that. He's like literally changing the gravity. It's more like JoJo than Naruto. Okay, so the next thing is the out realizer. So 7 out realizer is the shoulder piece on the other side, the left shoulder piece, the black shoulder piece. So a design device for outputting Kamen Rider Ziin. The information read by design device in realizer for input on the head is output as Kamen Rider ability. What does this mean? I think this would mean that this is the kind of like a memory card to the suit itself. I think that's about it. Nothing much to talk about. Next, number 8, designer's arm. Okay, Kamen Rider Ziin's arm, it has a structure in which a humanoid arm is extended and strengthened by the design power of a transformer. It produces tremendous strength. Yeah, it's same thing like the leg itself. Okay, but the last thing is really interesting. This is refined each time the shapeshifter is impressed. Huh? This is refined each time the shapeshifter is impressed. I felt like this is a Google Translate mistake because this doesn't make sense, because who is this freaking shapeshifter and who is impressed? How is maybe it makes sense. Maybe it makes sense that when because like one thing that Ziin is looking for is true emotion, like raw emotion. Like what if when he's like filled with the emotion ecstasy from watching S like doing something honorable or heroic, he's like, oh, it's so good, and then his armor is gonna get stronger, something like that. What if that is the case? I don't know, it's stupid, but I believe this is a translation mistake. How does it really sounds like? I do not know, I can't read Japanese, but this is the dimension hand. The last thing is dimension hand. Kamen Rider Ziin hand device is specialized in ultra precision shooting using the gun shape transformation item Laser Riser, and can bring item from the virtual world into the real world. Chotomate kudasai, man. Chotomate kudasai. Huh? Can bring items from the virtual world into the real world. So maybe I'm misunderstanding something right here. Maybe the virtual world that they're actually talking about is the DGP resting area, the area where all the supporters actually rest and see the DGP game from. Maybe that is the so-called virtual world itself, and then the real world is the world that, you know, like S and the rest of the people are actually at. So maybe I'm misunderstanding a little bit. So it's like being able to bring items from the virtual world into the real world is kind of like reminding me of how the supporters actually give the rice buckle to the audience and to the player itself. So maybe this has to do with the laser riser, something like that. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, I might have misunderstood a little bit on the virtual world shit that I just talked about. But now we're gonna move on to the helmet itself. Okay, the helmet is another thing that I'm really excited to talk about, because usually the helmet is also gonna give us quite a lot of interesting detail, but let me move on to the number one. This is the Ziin ears. Why? It equips with various information gathering, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is a radar observation stuff. It is able to gather information, so it is not just a design piece, okay, but it has some sort of function. And then the second thing is Ziin signal. I think this is the purple thing in the forehead, something like that. Let me see. Yeah, the forehead purple thing. Kamen Rider Ziin dimensional stabilizer. It constantly monitor each part of the body, and if a problem is detected, it immediately generates a correction program and process it appropriately to maintain a self-transformation state. Very interesting stuff. And monochrome, the armor of Kamen Rider Ziin. Yeah, we talk about this already. So, oh, okay. So the helmet is also made out of similar material. I think it's quite obvious why. Like, if your armor is good but your helmet is lousy, then what's the point? Okay. Number 4, Ziin collar, audio output unit, equipped with function to convertible intention, blah blah blah. Okay, huh? Okay, so it's like voice chat. Okay, it's like voice chat. This rider suit has a mic inside the suit itself, and in realizer. Okay, design device for Kamen Rider Ziin's input, equipped with a function to read the power design power that a transformer has to produce and coordinate to their ideal self and transmit that information to the design device out realizer for output on the chest. Okay, so this is the armor piece that we talked about just now. So this is the in, and then there's an input and the output. Okay, so okay, interesting. Sentinel blue. What is this sentinel blue? Let me take a look. Sentinel blue is the visor, compound eye of Kamen Rider Ziin. Stimulate the deployment of multiple fields of vision, allow for a constant confirmation of the movement of the support target. Okay, very interesting stuff. So that is basically the how do I say this, the breakdown, the deep dive of Kamen Rider Ziin and the Ziin head itself. Really crazy stuff we get to see here. We get to learn quite a lot of interesting detail that I really did not expect to learn, but we might need to rethink the theory that we have regarding the virtual war shit. And maybe we have been seeing this wrongly. Maybe the people of DGP is not of the real world. Maybe, yeah, they are from the distant future, but what if they are not real? What if they are AI? You know, like AI rule the world in the future and they got so bored because there's no concept of death in the future, so they came back into the past and look at all this death happening every single day. That is just an idea, okay? But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you like what you see here, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.